Personally, I get quite emotional every time I come here. It's because one day I lost half of my family in this very place. In October the 27th, on a Tuesday, beautiful day like today, the Jewish people from our town were surrounded after being ghettoized, being made assembled in the market square. Men were separated from the women and the children. The working people were separated from the rest. And before the day was over 100 people were shot. The rest of the people, excepting those who had jobs in the neighboring ammunition factories, were marched down to the train, never to be seen or heard of again. Of course, in those days, nobody knew where they were being taken. Yes, we did hear rumors, but they were so unbelievable that most of the people believed. And this helped the Germans to do their dirty work so much easier. I can imagine my younger brother, who at that time must have been all of 11 years old. He was an enemy of the Germans. How can an otherwise so-called civilized country come to separate a part of the humanity as unworthy of living, and it was their duty to do away with that. So who do they pick on? They pick on the vulnerable people, who they think they are vermin, make it so much easier for those who were doing the work. And eventually about 6 million Jews perished in a very, very short time. Places like Treblinka, we never knew where it was or what it was about. You look around here, it's so beautiful and peaceful here. Can you imagine, could the inhabitants of the neighboring villages imagine, unless they smelled the burning flesh, what is taking place here? And when they were finished, they exhumed the bodies, burned them, and left no evidence what took place here. But some people, fortunately, managed to escape and tell the story. Now, telling the story is one part. Believing the stories is another part. And now we have people who deny that the Holocaust took place. Now, can you imagine any human being being in a position like this? That they deny that I had parents, that I had siblings. I don't know what would happen if I faced a person like this. I think I would have to be restrained. Question is, it happened in the past, can it happen again? This is what you have to think about, especially the young people. Can it happen again? There are other human beings who are not treated as good as their neighbors, or as their neighbors in different countries, different religions, as good as somebody else. And this is what we have to be very vigilant about. Who our leaders are going to be, and are you going to take part in putting these leaders into responsibilities and be good citizens? We don't have to love each other, but we have to respect each other. And if we don't, this is going to be happening. As a matter of fact, it hasn't stopped happening. On a smaller scale, of course, but it's never stopped happening again. Have we not learned the lesson? And if we didn't hear a lesson, if we didn't learn the lesson until now, when will we? When will we? When the transport arrived here from our hometown, I can only imagine my mother, my older sister, and my little brother. I don't even know if they reached here, if they were alive. They packed the people so tightly in the freight trains. And I could imagine my mother trying to comfort my mother trying to comfort my little brother and my sister. And you can only imagine what happened to them. Of course, when it happened, we didn't know what is happening to them. I was asked before, were you here before? I asked if I was here after the war. Had I been here, I wouldn't be here. It is only by a thread of luck that I didn't wind up here. I will talk about this when I have a chance to speak to you consequently in my hometown, which is going to be there day after tomorrow. Thank you very much.
And